Today's topic, I'm going to be talking about strategies for attracting your ideal perfect prospect that take less time and help you make more money. And I'm going to be, this is kind of a combination of fundamentals training and then also just giving you some ideas as to what you might be able to do to start attracting prospects to you using specifically social media, and then also using strategies that limit or even eliminate your time on social media. That's today's topic. I'm excited to be sharing this with you guys. If you guys don't know who I am, my name is Fernie Ceballos. I've been training network marketers specifically on how to do attraction marketing or digital network marketing for the past 18 years or so. I discovered attraction marketing after 9 months of struggling in my business, doing it the traditional or old school way: home parties, home meetings, prospecting friends and family, basically all the crap that you hate doing about network marketing. Everything you hate about network marketing, I did for 9 months. And I did it, and I was actually kind of successful at it, but my team didn't want to do it, and so they all quit. They all stopped doing it and quit. And that's a powerful lesson in duplication. If you want to have effortless duplication in your team and not have to babysit people or not have to motivate people, then you want to be teaching people strategies that they're actually going to enjoy doing so that they look forward to doing it every single day. And that also applies to you as well, and applied to me. When I found attraction marketing, I found strategies that I actually looked forward to and I was excited about learning and implementing and using. And so that's what we're about here at Attraction Marketing. I'm actually a student of this community. When I found Attraction Marketing, I found this company that I'm now a partner in. And it was founded by my mentors, Mike Dillard and Tim Irway. They were the first to introduce these ideas of building digitally for your network marketing business back in 2005, for the first time that it was revealed to everybody and made public. But one of my mentors has actually been building network marketing businesses online since 2001. And that mentor is my business partner now. He's the CEO of attractionmarketing.com. And so we have quite a track record. Pretty much the grand majority of people that are building their network marketing business online, the people that you see have these omnipresent big brands on social media in the network marketing space, are either our students, students of our students, the students of our students, and so on and so forth. So, anyway, that's just a little bit about who we are and who I am. So, what I have to share has to do with making money, specifically in network marketing, with less time. And so, I want to actually show you a graph or a picture that I drew that pretty much represents the three levels of leverage that you can have in building your business. Everything from low leverage and very time consuming to high leverage and requiring less of your time. And so I'm going to share that with you in just a moment, but when I'm talking about these levels of leverage, I'm also talking about the four different skills that you need in order to be able to do digital network marketing or attraction marketing effectively. The first skill you got to learn is you got to learn how to attract. The second skill you got to learn is you got to learn how to influence. And the third skill you got to learn is you learn how to enroll. And the fourth skill is more of a leadership skill on how to create duplication. So those are the four skills. And attraction can happen on a one-on-one basis, a networking or a social engagement basis. But attraction could also happen through content that you create. And attraction could also happen through automated strategies as well, attracting your ideal perfect prospects. Influence can also happen in the same way. You can build influence and a relationship and trust, the know, like, and trust with somebody by talking to them, engaging with them one on one. You can do that through one to many, kind of like what I'm doing now. I'm doing one training one at a time, but I'm talking to a lot of different people. So it's a one to many strategy in terms of influencing in that way. And the whole point of influence there, the way you influence is you just demonstrate to people you can help them by actually helping them. So oftentimes people say, well, leadership is influence and influence is leadership, but those are kind of vague terms to people. For me, what influence and leadership, the definition of it in a very concrete way, is demonstrate to people you can help them by actually being helpful or helping them in a certain way. And so what I'm doing here hopefully is being helpful by explaining a few things to you guys and giving you a little more insight about attraction marketing and how this can help you in your business. And then the third skill Enrollment can obviously happen one-on-one through a one-on-one conversation. Having an enrollment conversation is what we teach. We don't teach having closing conversations. We don't teach objection handling. We teach enrollment, which is a very easy question-based process that causes people to they themselves close themselves. So if you're having an effective enrollment conversation, you're not doing a lot of telling, you're mostly asking questions, and you're qualifying. In fact, it's almost like an interview, where you want to make sure that the person you're talking to is the right fit for what you have. And so that's what enrollment is. And that can happen one on one, and it can happen one to many. I'm actually going to share something with you guys at the end of this, which I think all of you are going to like. And that's an example of a one to many enrollment strategy. And then also automated enrollment. Many of you have been through an example of what automated enrollment looks like. If you're here because you saw one of our ads and opted into something and maybe even purchased something from us, because that essentially is the way what automation ultimately looks like. It's a very simple type of online strategy, but it's extremely powerful. In fact, right now, as I'm talking, there's leads and prospects coming into my funnel, and customers are being generated, and I'm not doing anything. In fact, and I get to build a relationship and rapport, and those customers get to know me and learn more about me. And I'm literally here with you guys while all that's happening. That's an example of automation. So those are the skills in and ultimately the final skill, which is the skill of duplication. And that's, you can do when you duplicate, well, the first thing in duplication is like onboarding new team members, getting them started. Initially in the beginning you do that one-on-one, and then maybe after that maybe you create some templates or a checklist, and create more leverage that's more systemized. And then ultimately you can actually end up on automating your onboarding, automating the training and instructions that you give a new team member for them to get some results. And you can automate pretty much the training beyond that as well. And so again, the four skills: attract, influence, enroll, duplicate. And what I want to do here on this training is actually break down more for you the leverage part of it, like the different levels of leverage that exist, and kind of like the pros and cons of each and how each of them work. So I'm going to share my screen here. Sharing my screen. There you are, right there. What this chart here represents, I had to do this visually. I'm a visual person. So on this axis down here, what that represents is time multiplied by skills. Just because you are just because you're in the business for a certain period of time doesn't mean that you're going to be successful. So time by itself does not mean you're going to be successful. It's time with skills, while you're developing skills, that determines your success. Developing skills takes time, but then also, you know, what you're learning, the skills you're learning is important. So that's how come that access is there. Just the passage of time doesn't get you to where you want. You got to be learning skills and have mentorship and be trained on the different skills I just talked about: attract, influence, enroll, and duplicate. Those are the skills you got to learn. But those skills, you'll do it over time. And then what this axis over here represents is financial results. Hitting six figures, for example, as the first major big goal. So that's what that represents. And so what happens is, in the beginning, most network marketers will learn active building, which means one on one building. When it comes to active building, I'm going to blow this up. When it comes to active building, primarily what you're doing is investing your time with people. So this is like, another way of describing active building is called social engagement. If you know who Gary Vaynerchuk is, Gary Vaynerchuk built his brand and his business primarily through social engagement. And consistency is key. You want to be engaging and interacting with people on social media, adding value to them. And that's how you become attractive, is you demonstrate to people you can help them by actually helping them. That's what draws them in, when you become helpful in some way in your engagement. But the catch with active building or social engagement is that if you stop working, you stop getting results, period. If you stop doing this, you stop getting results. But the interesting thing about active building is like if you want to get results the fastest, that's actually what you need to do. When you develop these skill sets and it doesn't require any technology, any set, any website or anything, any tech skills. Well, you just got to learn active building and you can pretty much be off the races and in a short period of time be producing results, even more results than somebody that's doing some other strategies. The problem is because it's so time intensive, it eventually over time your personal results eventually plateau. It hits a ceiling. You can't go beyond a certain point. And so if in terms of your own personal ability to produce results and income, those incomes can be that income can be it's nothing to laugh at. You can make a couple thousand dollars doing it this way, but ultimately you need to find a way to duplicate yourself if you're going to do it this way. And so you're what you can control in terms of your results, becomes limited. So but this is the key thing that you need to know about active building is that everybody needs to learn how to do active building in the beginning. And so it's not something you can skip because the in the process of doing active building, you actually learn a lot about your prospects. You learn a lot about what is going to influence them, what are they like better than other things. And the other thing is when you do active building, when you engage with people, your fear and shyness around connecting with people goes away as well. So now you have the comfort of being able to engage with people in a natural, authentic way. One of the things, the only probably the good thing that came out of me doing old school recruiting was that I got over my fear of talking to people. I got over my shyness. And I also, because even though I dealt with a lot of rejection, I learned a lot about people through those engagements. I learned a lot about what they like and don't like and what they find sleazy and not. And so I realized I need to, it gave me insight as to the things I need to do and are effective and the things I don't want to do anymore because if for no other reason, people don't like it. So active building, whether you're doing it old school or you're doing it using the attraction marketing way on social media, gets you results faster and in a short period of time, and also gives you a lot of intelligence, insight about your prospects. And um, so that's what this training is not about active building, but I need to talk about it in order for things to make sense. Now, but eventually, once active building, going through that process of learning that skill set can take anywhere between 9 to 12 weeks to really get good at it. One of our students here at Attraction Marketing in our acceleration program, she's in her 12th week and already has 12 team members on her in her business. And you guys might be going, well, 12 team members, but now she's able to do that over and over again. She can choose to continue building actively and build a team of 12 people, 24 people. Now month after month she can do that over and over again and then eventually teach her team and cause that to duplicate. So active building in and of itself can be very powerful if you know how to teach it to others. But then also active building is time intensive. It does require you to be connecting with people a lot. And if you're an introvert like me, you may eventually find that a little draining. And so you might want to limit the amount of engagement you do with people. So what are the options? Well, the options are what I'm going to talk about next. You're going to need to do some active building in the beginning, but the good news is you don't have to do it for too long because now there are other options that open this up, but I think we'll all agree that interacting with people and learning from them is very valuable. That then helps us with more leverage strategies, which I'm going to talk about in just a moment. Now, going back to our chart here. Now, look, when we look at leverage strategies, you see that initially active building beats leverage strategies, but then leverage strategy surpasses active building and then allows you to continue to grow, 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 grow. It doesn't have the exponential growth of automation, but it's leverage is leverage, which is pretty cool. Now, let me see if this thing cooperates with me so I can bring it over. Yes, it does. Yes. Excellent. All right. So now let me zoom in here. So now leverage building, what this pretty much is, another definition for it is content marketing. That's what leverage building is, where you're investing mostly your time on creating content. And so it's still time intensive like active building, but it's not so much with people as it is building creating, spending time creating content. Therefore, content marketing. And you can do this for attraction, you can do this for building influence and creating no like and trust, and you could also do it as part of an enrollment strategy as well to get people to raise their hand. And again, just like before, consistency is key. So you got to invest time. Consistency is key. But if you stop, your results will slow. They won't stop right away, but they will start to slow down. So that's the only downside of doing content marketing, is that you need to be consistent, investing your time consistently, and you can't stop. Otherwise, your results will slow down. Now, the advantage is that it is far more leverage, and your results from content marketing can continue to rise. So we talked about active being social engagement. So if you're not engaging socially on social media, then what is a leveraged type of strategy? So leverage content marketing, for attraction. So creating content for attraction. The hottest version of this type of strategy right now is Reels, TikTok, Shorts, and whatever Pinterest calls their thing. Like the micro video content strategy, because literally these type of content, the content you put out there, it's going to be shown to a few hundred people that you don't know. That's a whole point. The platform, whether it's TikTok or Facebook or Instagram or YouTube, will show your short videos to people you don't know. And if they like it or engage with it, and it receives a positive result, they'll show it to more people. And then those people like it and they engage with it, they'll continue to show it to more people. And then at some point your video can go viral, but it's not really viral because people are not sharing it with other people. That's not what's causing the visibility. It's the platform itself deciding that your content is worthy of more views. So it's literally like free advertising, but it has it decays really fast in terms of its visibility. So the platform will only show your content for a short period of time, and then it stops showing it because it wants you to create more content. And so the downside of those strategies is that it decays really fast in terms of how many people it's shown to, but you can potentially reach thousands, tens of thousands, or even millions of people, and it's an awesome strategy. And of course, there's blogging, and that has to do with search engine optimization, having your blog content show up on the search engines, and then people see it. But those strategies are longer term. But then if you actually get them to work, then you can be potentially getting referrals and leads to you for a very long time thereafter. And so that's just the trade off. Now, so if you're not already leveraging Reels or TikTok and that type of micro video content, then that's a huge strategy. It's very leveraged. It does require consistency. If you stop posting, it can totally screw up the algorithm, and all of a sudden your content gets shown to fewer and fewer people. So but it's a great strategy. So if you want to spend less time with people and potentially have something that goes crazy viral, then leveraged content marketing, where you invest your time, you stay consistent, and make sure you don't stop or take too long of a break, is great. And TikTok and Reels is for beginners, especially, is a great strategy. Now let's talk about the next level of making more money and creating more leverage. So now we're going to talk about automated. So what happens when you deploy an automated attraction or influence or enrollment strategy? So you'll notice on the graph here that automated is a strategy that takes the most time for any significant results to start showing up. So automation is amazing, guys. I love automation. For me, automation is freedom. I'm a huge fan of automation, but there's always a trade-off. One of the trade-offs is that you're going to need time to learn skills, and when you actually start breaking through in terms of results, when you start beating active building, when you start outpacing even leverage building, that can take a little bit of time. It could, Usually in our roadmaps when we teach our students, getting the systems and the skill sets and everything ready, that part can take about 6 months to actually break through and start getting results that outpace any other strategy. But, investing those 6 months, for example, is totally worth it because then you have what? What is the advantage of automated building, even if it takes a little longer to set up? The advantage is clearly that you can have exponential growth. You can have more time freedom, as you'll see. But primarily, what I get excited about is the exponential growth. Even if it took the same amount of time and the same amount of consistency as leverage marketing, I would do that. I would do automated because the exponential growth that it allows you to create. It is the only strategy that allows you to fully control your ability to achieve a six-figure income. So you can, basically drive and control your path to achieving a six-figure income using automation. You can't do that with simply leverage strategies or active strategies unless you're somehow go crazy viral, become a monster influencer, and you sell a lot of your own retail product. But aside from that, when it comes to driving the growth, you controlling the pace at which you achieve six figures, automation is the only strategy that can get you there with primarily your own production and skill set. And so, and here's what automation requires. Here's what you need to invest. You do need to invest time in learning skills and to set up systems in the beginning. So so you got to be okay with that. It's going to be time intensive but only for a short period of time. And then it's going to require less and less time as you have growth. As the system deploys, then you're pretty much your time is mostly spent on maintaining or optimizing or tweaking it and making it better, but it's nowhere near the amount of time that it initially takes. So less and less time is required of you. The other thing, if you're doing any type of marketing for attracting and influencing, then you're going to initially invest a little bit of money to test everything, to make sure things are working, to get acclimated to the platform. Whatever, if you're doing advertising, you're gonna need to get used to and learn Facebook ads platform, for example. And you're gonna need to test and see if your skills, you're kind of dipping your toe in the water, and it's okay to dip your toe in the water. So it requires a little money, some money up front, but it's very little. But then once you launch your systems and you start when you start seeing a profit from your nominal investment, when you start actually starting to make more money than you're putting in, it literally becomes a magic slot machine that doesn't require very much of your time. For every dollar you put in, you could potentially get $2 or even $3 back. And so that's pretty much how automation works. Um, and this applies for not only attracting, not only influencing, not only enrolling, but it also applies to duplication. You can create a machine, a systems for duplication, where eventually, like one of our students, Beck Sadek, running a seven-figure business can require only 3 to 4 hours per week to run. That's where she's at right now because she set up the systems for duplication. Initially, those systems took a lot of time, but then it requires less and less of her time as her team grew. And she also does marketing and advertising and pretty much now has this magic slot machine that brings in prospects. They get enrolled, they are onboarded through an automated process, and pretty much those new reps require very little of her time, and usually they can get everything they need in order to build their businesses from the systems themselves. And so that's the beauty of automation. And sometimes people, sometimes old school networkers will say, "Well, that's not duplicatable, Fernie." I mean, I don't. I think we've duplicated this with over thousands of leaders in the network marketing space. All of these skill sets. So I disagree, and I definitely think that building systems, teaching our students how to create systems that create the more leverage that they're actually excited and enjoy building and working on and studying. Um, I think that's more duplicatable than asking somebody to prospect somebody, a stranger in public. Bugging friends and family and dealing with all the rejection is not duplicatable. If that was duplicatable, I would have been really wealthy in the beginning of doing network marketing because I was doing the work, but A, I hated doing the work. So it's hard to sustain something you don't enjoy doing. And B, my team definitely hated doing the work. So how is that duplicatable? How is an inauthentic and deceptive strategy more duplicatable than something that actually has been proven over and over again and actually is fun doing? People say cold calling is duplicatable. No, it's not. It's one of the hardest things to do. It's one of the most high level sales skills, uh, in the world. Like you have to be. It's one thing to be a good salesperson. It's a whole other thing to be a good salesperson from cold calling. But here's the thing: if old school network marketers actually taught you effectively how to do sales, you'd actually would get way better results. There'd be more duplication. The problem is that how sales is taught in network marketing is first and foremost, they don't acknowledge it's sales. They don't tell you it's sales. They tell you it's selling, it's sharing. Don't make it complicated. Bring more people to meetings. They tell you what the results should be, but they don't actually tell you how. If they actually taught you how, then you actually would have a chance doing it the old school way. Like my friend Tim Sales, he built a seven-figure business, a multiple seven-figure business in the 90s using cold calling. But guess what? He actually knew how to train his team on how to effectively do cold calling and duplicate one of the hardest skills in the world, and built a seven-figure business that way. And he actually didn't lie to them and said, what you're doing is cold calling. This is sales. So if you want to be on this team, this is what you got to do. And I'm going to show you how to do it. And it worked. He did it. But that's very rare that you know network marketing traditional strategies are taught in an effective way, and that's how come so many of us burn out and ultimately choose to do something different. So I'm glad you guys all are here for this lesson, so you understand the differences in terms of traditional network marketing and attraction marketing, but then also that even within attraction marketing there's different levels of leverage, and we have roadmaps that kind of like take you from one level to the next level and then to the next level. And we have many students who never do advertising but choose to go all in with leveraged content marketing strategies, and they crush it and create multiple six-figure businesses. And then we have other students that go, I really don't like to be on social media. I don't like to create content. I want to invest my time more on a system that's going to, kind of be more passive long term. So we have students that do that and choose to do that. And we have very few students that stay in the active building. They start there because that's essential fundamental skills that help you in the higher levels. But very few ever stay there. It's really, they're either going to choose either leverage building or automation. We have multiple six-figure students who have built leverage way. Some of them we actually even taught automation and ads and chose to do more content marketing, and that was cool. And then other students were like, I don't want to do a content marketing. I don't even like being on social media. Let me do this other way. Well, guys, that's what we do here at Attraction Marketing. What I just shared with you is literally, I actually, without you guys knowing it, I actually talked about 12 different skill sets that every seven-figure digital network marketer needs to learn. And of course, you don't need to learn all those skill sets to achieve a six-figure income or even a multiple six-figure income. But if you want to hit seven figures, all those 12 skill sets need to be learned. So take care, guys. If you got value from this training, be sure to like this video and subscribe to our channel. And if you'd like to get access to my free 5-day digital recruiting bootcamp, where I reveal how to attract 3 to 7 new customers and team members each week without prospecting a single person, sign up in the link in the description. You'll get access to content that's not available anywhere else. Plus, you'll receive an invitation to our private community where we deliver free weekly live training on how to leverage attraction marketing for your business. Thanks for watching, and I look forward to seeing you on the inside.